Hey, what's up guys? Today on Nitro Licks, Dream Brother by Jeff Buckley. Alright guys, I thought I'd do another Jeff Buckley song. Did Forget Her a while back. I chose Dream Brother. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. I mean really, probably in my top 10 favorite songs. I've got enough gain to get some bite. So that when I'm at full volume, you know, I've got some bite, but then that way when I back off a couple spots, it's pretty clean. Okay, so we're going to start there, roll it off that volume now just a little bit. In that first riff we've got Very Haunting, it goes like this. Okay, so you've got an open G, and then you've got your B4. So you start on that B4, and then come down to that open G, and then back to that B4, and then go down to B3. Hear that? All right. Riff starts out that way, so then down to B1. So B1, open B, B1, B3. And then come back to do that once. That's the first time through. I'm going to play through it again. Okay, so that's the second time through. That's your first variation. So after that, grab that open G again, and then bring your index finger up here to your E1, your high E string. Okay, so all right, and you do that twice. So right, hear that? That fourth time through, you're gonna add that E3. So this is the fourth time through. So, okay. So that's the gist of it. Okay, and now as we work our way through this first verse, we come near the chorus, we build our way up to that. We've got some more variation. He says butterscotch hair. I think he says green eyes, blue goodbyes, or something. Forgive me if I don't have the lyrics wrong. It's lyrics are always hard for me to remember, but it's that part. After he says butterscotch hair, and I believe, like I said, he says green eyes, blue goodbyes. You've got this. So instead of, you've got that fourth fret on E, and that's the only time it does it in the verse. So you've got that. Okay, that's the end of the first verse. So after this, So instead of, it's this. This is right at the end of the first verse, so. I use my ring finger there on that B3, that way I can just bring that pinky up to that fourth fret on E, and then come down to that E1. And then it's 3 to 7, or you could do this. You could do 8 on your B and 7, or you could just grab your E3 up to 7, and then go. That's the end of that first verse. This is the build up to the chorus, and then there are different layers of guitars. If you can maybe pull off, because another guitar underneath of that goes. That build up into the chorus. Okay, that's the chorus riff. Right, so as you end that, okay, so that's the first verse. Chorus. It's 3 chords basically for your chorus. You've got this bar across 3, your top 3 strings. Then you've got this, a 5, 4, 5, and then you've got that 5, 3, 5, and then back to this, like the kind of like a top of a G minor, but see that, and then. That's the chorus. The first time around anyway. There's a variation in the second chorus. We'll get to that. Okay, and then as we come out of that chorus, we've got that atmospheric, kind of moody bridge section there. It goes like this. It's that part. It goes longer than that. So you come into it with that original riff, that and then come up to G4. So B4, excuse me, to the open G, and then you just use your pinky on your E4. And then down to that B3, and then, okay, and then that's that 1 and that 3, that E1 and that B3. So it would be like this. Right. All right, and then that leads into the next part, but it goes like this. We'll get to that section here in a minute. Let's just concentrate on that. Let's concentrate on that. So we've come out of that moody. Okay. Just keep that keep your ring finger there on that B3 and then go 1, 3, 4. And then your E3, so, right, so. And then that's 3 on your A and your D, open, or 3 on your A and your D, an open G, and 1 on your B. And then just move it up a whole step or 2 frets. 5, 3, open, and 3. So. And then do it again. Except at the tail end of it on the second time, bring your pinky up to that E5, right? So go, this is the second time. And then right, next you've got, it's like a kind of like a C major 7 maybe, but it's 5, bar across 5, and then your high E's on that 7. So you've got those are the same chords as before. That was just a G2. And then you're gonna go. That's an octave. It's like a power chord. It'd be like a B power chord, except you're gonna skip that middle string. So you're just 7 on E and 9 on your D string. You go. Slide down a step to your A power chord, but you're still, it's an octave. You're skipping that middle string, right? So. Okay, then. So back to that C major 7. Come up to the, use your pinky to move from 7 to 8, and then back down to 7. And then we're back into the chorus. Right. All right, so this last chorus, it starts off the same as before. We're going to get a variation. So we're going to work up to that. But the first time through is the same. You've got... Right, you do that twice. And at the tail of that, you've got this chord. Pretty close to this anyway. It's kind of tough for me to figure out, but this is very close. It's like this. Right? You hear that after, because we do the chorus twice at the end. So the first time is the way it was before, then you hear this. And then the chords move up the last time through the chorus. They go, which we'll get to. But this chord, you're on 6. So I've just barred across 6. I've barred across that. Okay? And on the first 2 strings, E and A is the 6th. It's an 8 on your D string. It's a 7 on your G, an 8 on your B, and then you're on that 6 on your E. So that's the chord. And then that works because the next chord in this chorus, the second time through, the top of that is where you start, so you don't have to change positions at all. You've got that there, this shape, and then you just play the top 3 strings of that. That would be your G7, your B8, and your E6. See what I mean? And then it moves up here. And then it does this. And it does this. Back to that spot. Again. And then it ends with this. Okay, so you were, because of that chord, remember, top 3 strings to begin it. And you're going to come up and bar on 8. So 8, G8, B10. I use my pinky there, and you'll see why. It makes the next chord easier to reach. So you got 8 on E and G, and then 10 on B. And then the next one, I use my pinky. That way I can just slide that index finger down and grab, and then, because we're still on the E8, but I can use my middle finger. I can replace my index with my middle. And then, see, you're still on E, or 8 on E, and you're still on B on 10, but now you've moved down a half step to 7 on your G from here. So we went. And then you move back to that original position. And you do that again. And then it's this. 10, 11, and 12. Like a G minor. Okay, and then back to the back to that. Actually, when you go back into that, it does this. It's a little different. Man, there are so many variations on these simple licks. When it comes out of that, not that anyone would probably notice, but if you really want to do it technically right, it goes. Which we haven't played yet. We've played riffs that sound close to that, but that's the first time we've really played it like that. It's like a mashup of previous riffs. And then it just goes through it the way it did more or less the first time in a verse, and it ends with what I showed you in the first verse before with the That's the last part of the song. There is a kind of a chord there. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. I hate to admit it, but I couldn't really get it down where it sounded right. I feel like the notes are something like that. That's what I did. I'm sure that's not what he actually did in the studio, but I think you could sell it with that. That's just my E10. At B, 13 and 12, where you could go. But I feel like you're upstroke. And that's how you play Dream Brother by the late, great Jeff Buckley. Check out my channel. Got a lot of rock lessons out there. Country rock, country, glam, metal, pop, grunge. We love it all at Nitro Licks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.